Hey, good evening. I'm D. Horace Towns, and these are the Black Super Friends podcast. Thank you for joining in. Hey, good evening, good afternoon on this third day of Kwanzaa. I am the Horace Towns, and we are the Black Super Friends podcast. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the amazing Black Super Friends podcast that, hey, soon will be syndicated. I'm claiming that. I want to go around the board, go to my best friends. I'm going to go to the bottom first. A man fresh out of surgery. I know he had to operate on a few things today, fix a few lives. The date doctor.
Yes. It's glad to be here. I'm always here to help. Make sure you YouTube Ask Date Doctor for your minute clinics. And I do clinicals, I do one-on-ones. Make sure you holler at me. Date Doctor. Date responsibly.
All right, I'm going right to the side to my brother that is reporting live from the ATL. Super Mario Senior, please say the senior.
What's going on, fellas? Glad to be here.
All right. And then I'm going up to the top with the man with the map behind him because he has traveled all around the world. The latest man.
Fellas, what's up, man? How y'all doing this evening?
Hey, happy to have you.
There you go.
Well, listen, I will talk about the sponsor later because it'll be a little different today. We want to recognize that it's the third day of Kwanzaa. And the third day of Kwanzaa is to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and to solve them together. So I think that is something that the Black Super Friends really believe in. So thanks to Consumer Polls, I have graduated to the one of the most hated people on the podcast. I think I'm going to be making waves. I just don't know how, but listen, speak a little truth, people lose their mind. I mean, Ice Cube said that. And allegedly, I killed Mia. It was a movie, people. It was a movie.
That was a low blow, though. I ain't gonna lie. That was a low blow.
Listen, God. Hey, all right, man. Let me get back into the swing of things. On trending news today, man, we want to talk about something, and it's going to be kind of like aha. All right. Hey, LL, Latoya Lockett is joining us. I know Jeffrey Leday will be zooming in here in a second. Trending news. Now, we talk about different news stories, and we sometimes get a gift like this. There was a viral video of a man bragging about his wife of 18 years never having to pay a bill and that he took care of all his kids. And I remember in that video, this man proudly spoke about how he took care of his wife, took care of his kids, and because that's what a real man does. And he said, if a man can't do that, he is not a real man. Y'all remember that video?
Yes.
Vividly.
Oh, but thank you to the creator, because today we have an update. So just happened to be scrolling. One of the Black Super Friends came upon a piece that said that same man and that same family was on Ayana's Fix My Life.
You don't say.
Me, you with that serious, it is really a doozy. Usually there's some lives and some stories that are very, very interesting and make you say, well, God dang, boy, that's a mess there. So, I've always said in different areas, we've said this, what's more impactful, time or money? People put a lot of emphasis on, I want the man that makes a lot of money. I want to be rich. When we say money can't buy everything, peace, tranquility, prosperity, those are big things. Right. So in this story, we're going to ask what's more impactful, time or money? Because on Ayana's Fix My Life, the family was on there and the kids can't stand their daddy and the wife wants a divorce. Why would a woman who has all her bills paid, doesn't have to do anything but play this domesticated role, want a divorce from a real man? I don't know, Chris. Chris, are you familiar with the story? Please share your
Yes,
thoughts.
this is not a new story. I think me and Hardy talked about this in a group chat with Ashley. I hope she joined in because we talked about this a long time ago. This is not a new story. I think it's new that he went on Anana's Life or whatever that show, but this story ain't new. And we debated this over and over again. Because here's the thing. This is a common situation where a man leaves with his wallet. You know what I'm saying? That he puts his value in his wallet. So he feels as though if I pay all the bills, it makes me the man. Now, anything that a person does not have to work for, they're not going to value. So
Right.
if a woman is not going to work and put in any effort into this relationship, then she's not going to appreciate it. And the thing is this: when you look at that man, and I'm not judging brother because I'm just not. He just made a mistake, but I'm not judging him. But when you look at that man don't look like a neurophysicist. That man don't look like some kind of scientist. He looked like a hard-working man. So if he was able to take care of 8 kids and his wife, make sure they don't pay no bills, he worked his fingers to the bone to be able to do that. But you know what you sacrifice when you do that? You sacrifice time with your kids. You sacrifice a connection with your wife. And if your wife if that woman truly loves you, because it's grand standard that now all of a sudden she after 18 years of free rent, she can't take it no more. It's just too much. What I'm saying is this, fellas. This is what bills do. The reason why women don't want to pay bills is because paying bills, especially all the bills, it makes women sick. It puts extra stress on them, which sends them to the hospital more. It hurts women. It makes them sick. Women, it defeminizes women to pay all the bills. That's why you get these women that's hard to deal with, that's take it or leave it attitude. This whole vibe where I pay all the bills, I don't have to listen to nothing. That's how you get that. That's the product of paying all the bills. The thing is, it has the same effect on men. It defeminizes men. It makes men not have those feminine traits that you seem to like so much. It makes men hard to deal with, uncompromising, because he feels like he pays all the bills. So it's nothing you can tell him. It makes him emotionless because he has that much responsibility on him. So if you truly love that man, why? And if you know what all the bills being paid, all the bill responsibility on you, if you know how that feels, then you should understand that you shouldn't want to do that to no man. You want to put that same pressure on any other man. But I didn't even graduate college. So Mario, what you got?
Well, see, I think that you hit on a bunch of key points, and one of the main ones you hit on was that why would you do that? Because I think a lot of times we've been trained not to step into the 21st century. I think we're in the era right now where women are at an all-time high. Black women, especially black women, they are the highest earners among us. They're on the highest pole of growth. They're growing. They're doing everything at extraordinary rates. They are magnificent right now, especially when it comes to making money. So then right now it's like, wow. So as a man, it's almost like you're just trying to compete. But to compete with them, you're losing your family. And to me right now, I definitely rather have my kids and my family love me than to brag and to boast about how much I pay and how much I do. Because time is freedom. So if I have to work 3 or 4 jobs just to say my wife doesn't have to pay any bills, then for one, my wife don't care about me because, like Chris said, she watching me work myself to death. 2, she don't care about the family because she's not implementing that. Hey, baby, let me pick up some of these bills because hey, I need you home with the guys, with the daughters, I need you here being the father present. I don't want to be a single mom because in actuality, that's what she is. A single mom with her rent and bills paid because she's raising the kids. So I said a lot of times if it's a man, as the head of the house, because we like to call ourselves that, we got to make decisions that it's not always the popular one. We got to make decisions to say, you know what? I'm okay with not being that man that has to pay all the bills. And if my wife don't like that, I'm okay with that too. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying you have to pull as much as me, but you're gonna have to do your weight because I love my kids and want to spend as much time with them just as much as you. And not only that, I love you as much as you say you love me. So if I love you as much as you say you love me, I want to spend time with you. I don't want to be tired now on the job after job after job, working my life away when I fought so hard to get this wonderful woman I love and this beautiful family and I don't get a joy. That's like buying a Maserati and it sits in the garage every day. There's no way you would want to do that. But like Chris said, what do I know? I'm no physicist.
Look, listen to me. Hold on. I practiced what I was going to say. I thought about what I was going to say. And this man said everything exactly what I wanted to say perfectly. And I've been at this all damn day.
Great minds think alike, man. You all right?
Yeah, for real. I'm saying that's why I just had to go off you because you said exactly how I think most men gonna feel in that position.
Mm-hmm. What you got, Horace?
I after watching a podcast with Mike Tyson today, who I watch and I get some inspiration from. You know, I watch TDJs, but Mike Tyson with his transparency, I think I will be more dedicated, more of my transparency to us as the men, because I think a lot of time we've been transparent on this show and women not really receiving it. Like we've given you some real transparency and it's debated. So when Mario and Chris talked, man, I didn't rehearse anything today. And then when you spoke, you guys usually give me something. As I matured, I've learned about the 5 love languages, and mine is quality time. You know why? Because of those same reasons. You know, I was the oldest, so it was a long time before I had brothers and other siblings. So I was alone for a long time. And my dad, you know, that relationship, what's up, boy? And keep walking. Those are the things that I crave. You know what I mean? So when I got my own family, I wanted that from my kids. I wanted that from my wife. I want, no matter how hard life is, I need that little piece of time that is for us. I need you. I just need that 1 hour quiet time where we connect in some kind of way that lets me know that you're intentional or I feel connected to you. But I'm also complex with how do you, in this era where a man's value or the definition of a man is constantly answered by everyone except for a man. That is an issue that I have with society because, again, I'm confessing like I wanted time from my mom, who never came to any of the games. I love my mom, but she was either working or she was preaching. She never, all the years I played in professional in sports, they never came to a game. My dad will come to a game, but never come inside the gate. You know what I mean? So those traumas kind of shaped how I think about things today. So when I seen that about the clip with the guys, it's like that dad probably was defined that was being a man by taking care, because we got uncles like that. I pay all the bills, I take care of you, what else do y'all want? And not being able to connect. Mm-hmm. We repeat a cycle. My granddad was a hell of a provider. Hugging him, I think I didn't hug him till he was in his 80s. He didn't want love, just get off me, you know. So I think that women need to understand that when we're parenting, you may have an issue with the father or the, you know what I mean, but that child only understands time and that presence.
Right.
You might have an issue, but allow that child, because in your eyes, you keeping him away is more hurtful than whatever he could bring to you financially. So not to go on a rant, but you guys blessed me when you guys shared your insight. Zay.
All right. I looked at it and I think I'm going to attack this from a couple of ways. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say I respect the way that father boastfully, proudly said what he did, because for him, that was an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to respectfully decline because of what my two brothers down below me said, is because me personally, if I have a wife, I want her to be just as invested into this relationship and this family as I'm going to be. And like you said, Mario, that is a bit of selfishness if you want that man to do all that stuff, because that is killing him off, because he's not sleeping properly. So he's definitely not eating right. And he's definitely not going to be able to exercise. So he's under stress. His blood pressure, which is something very prevalent in black men, is going to be high. He's going to be out of here. And then, you know what I'm saying, you won't even have that provider there. So that's also along the lines of you can feed a person or you can teach them how to fish. I think he'd do better to teach them how to fish, especially with a family of that size. You know what I'm saying? They can start a real nice legacy. But I'm gonna like I said, respectfully decline. I just keep thinking about the old heads that used to talk to us and tell us, you know, that boy game is in his pocket, all of it. You know what I'm saying? He got that bubble gum game, and that's the reason why that happened. But you know, the wife wants to leave him because he's probably emotionally unavailable. He's tired. He's frustrated. You know, he's been taken care of. So, like you said, what else do you want? He doesn't even know how to love. So that's how that can come to an end. That marriage. And then the kids resent you because in this world, a wise man told me that you only have time or money. Very seldom do you have the two. Now, I'm also a product of a father who made great money, spent zero time with me. You know, Tudor, we joked about your father watching the game from the gate. Mine never came at all. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably the resentment that the kids have for him. So while he's probably sitting there pounding his chest saying, you know, I did all I could do for my kids, you didn't, because what they really wanted, you never gave them. You see what I'm saying? So that's probably the reason how they even end up on Ayana's Fix My Life. And he's probably in bewilderment because he only did to his ceiling what he saw. So like you said, Horace, the repeating of the cycles, but totally was a disconnect with the kids. And that's where he failed at. So my question that I always pose is, what do you value more? You know what I'm saying? As women in a man like that, because it's all fine and dandy to have the stability, but if he's not there to teach your children or be there to be that emotional support that they're gonna need growing up, what do you really have yourself? And that's just a thought, you know, not a right or a wrong way, but we got to kind of see where do your moral compass lie when it comes to those types of issues, and I guess companionship. But I don't know. I'm not a rocket scientist either. I was just looking at it from another standpoint.
But it might be why 30th Street turned into our game with all of us. We had each other. You know what I mean? And trust me, we have a story for each one of us. You know what I mean? But shaping us into manhood, man, we had each other, so that made things a little more comfortable. But you know, the young dude that grew up in the house with all girls, and you know, it's different scenarios. So I do thank God that 30th Street was a very unique thing.
Right.
You know, everybody not going to be able to stay on the 30th Street type scenario. But I got to change gears, and I'm going to ask you guys, what are y'all thoughts on this new thing called Clubhouse, the new social media phenomenon? It's an app that for iPhone users. Because if you don't have an iPhone, what do you really have a phone?
Man, I've been trying to tell these players to get their pimping straight for years.
Apple. How that's your boy. So the new social media phenomenon, Clubhouse, where I see it is taking off and people paying to get invited in. People are paying to get an invite. So I just have to say, one of the BSF, one of the Black Super Friends, has already emerged as a leading voice in the new social media era of Clubhouse. So I'm gonna go live to the date doctor. What's your thoughts? What's the pros and cons?
Man, I actually enjoy it, to be honest with you. You can get conversation, all types of conversations, man. If you want to get business conversation, tax advice, credit advice,
Right.
You can get relationship advice. You know, we do our own, show after the show. Y'all check that out at 10:30 at Clubhouse. But yeah, I like it. I enjoy it. You get it brings back the art of conversation. And there's one thing I tell the guys that I coach for dating is you're never going to be able to text her out of them pants. You're going to have to talk her out of them pants. You're never going to be able to text her into a date. You're never going to be able to text her into a relationship, and you're damn sure not going to be able to text her into a marriage. You're going to have to talk her into it. Right. So it's great to work on your conversational skills from different women from different places. Now, there is some cons. The amount of simping that you will endure on Clubhouse is ridiculous. I've never seen so many men go to such levels of simping just for female validation. I mean, men, it's like they reading out of the female playbook, like verbatim. It is the most sickening thing you could possibly get. Here, the compliments are on a totally whole different level. The line, the flogging, the perking. Soon as they get on, they start to tell you about all these great things. I mean, it is woo. Okay, but I also say here, I think that you should grab, if you're gonna tune in, you need to get you a large glass, a really, really large glass, because you're gonna hear so much wine on Clubhouse. If you get into the room with women, all you're gonna hear is a bunch of wine. So I'm hoping you get you a nice long glass, because that's all you're gonna get is wine, 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 wine. And I'm hearing it's a virus on Clubhouse. It's called Mizabad. It's in most rooms that women are in. Mizabad. So that's all you're gonna hear is men are bad, men are this, men are that.
Oh my God.
So watch out for that virus, Mizabad. But
Don't catch that.
again, check us out 10:30 on Clubhouse. It's the after party. Because after the party, there's the after party, and after the party, there's the hotel lobby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I've heard that one before. Time or two.
Hey, well, I will say first off, Chris, you are absolutely correct. I wanted to holler out treason. We had someone in the room last night, which was very treasonous. Is one guy that closed out the room. Even the women left like, okay, you even going overboard at this point with the simping. So I would say that this is my advice though. If I can do it all over, I would have followed my first mind and bought my Tesla shares that I should have bought. I would have followed my first mind and bought into Google, GoDaddy, and Clubhouse isn't a trading option now. But my point is, it is about getting in at the ground floor. Getting in at the ground floor will give you equity, whether it's social equity. You get in position because you're in there before everybody else. So the pros is, I believe it's a brilliant app. I don't know why I didn't think of it, or we didn't think of it, because it's really like talk radio that allows even Steve Urkel to get on and have a conversation or be in a room with Wiz Khalifa or somebody that he follows and have a chance to have a conversation. You know what I mean? Or be moderator. So I believe it's brilliant because it's talk radio. I think the cons will be that just like every social media app, it will at some point become oversaturated, abused, perverted, and fake. But if you get in now, like Chris has already made a lot of the date doctors made a lot of leeway where now they're already saying, oh well, once people come in, it'll be hard to get a room or get a group, for yourself. So that's why I'm saying get in early, and I think you can actually have some impactful dialogues, and you can have some good networking, because the date doctor, man, he tore up a room one night and I was so proud. I know one of my friends, Vernique Bell, she's a consultant. Now she has an 8 o'clock following. Everyone gets on to hear motivational stuff. So it's really kind of breaking through the privatization of radio and media and allowing people, if you got it and you work hard enough and set yourself in a good position, you can come out of that thing pretty decent on Clubhouse. So that's my take for the pros and cons. Mario.
I love it. I love it because of the ability to do multitask while you listening to it, and then you can turn your mic off so you could be doing multiple things. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you don't even have to be a speaker; you could just be on there listening. Like Patricia saying, a lot of rooms I go into, I don't learn a lot of stuff. Like you get a lot of, because there's a lot of stuff on there for casual fun, and then it's a lot of stuff on there for conversation, or then it's me and Krista have been in some rooms where you're really having like dialogue that can help you and then have a breakthrough in your life. But then you got some real business stuff on there. I went to a contract room and I got some plugs and some leads in a real estate room. I was in being a home inspector. I gave out a bunch of my number to a bunch of people, and at least 2 of them contacted me. So for networking purposes, I think it's amazing. And on the other hand, for like Chris was saying, dating, it actually makes men come out of their shell. And I think it gets you back into the old form of being able to have something to say. Because a lot of times, you do a lot of flogging and flexing on Instagram, and then you get the bait on the hook, but then you actually get there to the date and you can't carry a conversation. So at this point, when you get in this room, you only have one picture that you can look at. So you got to pick your best and hope that works. And then after that, it's all conversation. Because after that, it's either and the longer you stay in that room, the more we're going to see who you are. Because people start out strong. And then when you hit that right question, or that next thing you know, here we go. And if you consistently on a yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, the whole room, even women, know what you're here for. And then, and like Chris said, we've been in a lot of rooms, and anytime we had a show and stuff, we done had some real. Listen, one night I stayed up, I think, to like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in a room, actually having meaningful conversation. It was like amazing, like, you know what I'm saying, to the point my wife went to sleep, son to sleep, and I'm downstairs, and it's actually good. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was a kid talking on the phone again. So I think that if you have any spare time, even if you don't want to say anything, you want to learn stuff or get involved and see what's going on in the world, just check it out, because you can turn your mic off and just listen and get free game. If you one more thing before I go, if you in the industry for music, they have all kind of singing contests on there. If you pitching an idea, it's like a Shark Tank room on there that you have people that's actually tuned into this, because it's still Corona for a lot of people who making money. So a lot of entertainers and stuff are not out here doing shows as much. So they using up their free time looking for talent, trying to fill, because they're building up for 2021. So I think that everybody should be a part of this in some sort, because it's some room on there for you. And if it's not, you have all right to create your own. Say.
My brothers, as y'all know, just like my iPhone, I was the last one in Clubhouse. You know, I did get a lot of insight though, as I was preparing, as y'all waiting on my invite and y'all cursing me out. You know, other people were looking for me to be a part of the conversation as well, but I hadn't gotten in. So once I did get a chance to get in, I still haven't learned how to navigate that app just as a pet. But what you said, I did get a chance to get in the 21 Savages room. And I see that that's an opportunity where he's looking for individuals with talent to show me what you got. And it gives you an opportunity to break in at that ground level that Dude is talking about. It gives you an opportunity that you probably would have never had in a million years. So I thought that was dope. I did see some other rooms. I messed around and got in the fruitcake room. Sorry, God forgive me. I don't even understand how I got in there, but I got out of there so fast. But I'm back up in reverse. You hear me? I was out of there.
How you got in the fruitcake room?
Oh man, it was you understand? But I did see some other things, like you said, real estate. I see people coming together to help others, and that was a beautiful thing. So like I said, I'm still new. I haven't gotten a chance to really explore it, but from what I've seen right now, I like, and like you said, you can tap into a conversation, sit the phone down and listen while you're doing work, and that was for me phenomenal. So far it's a thumbs up, but I got to play with it a little bit more.
Balls, man. Good grief, this
Where
kid.
is Info going?
All right, boy threw me off. Hey,
nasty dog.
Hey, no, man.
Hey,
everybody in radio land say Paul.
Yeah, see what kind of rooms you going in.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
That is all.
People Herman gonna give you an invite next.
Yeah. Like his ass.
Hey, so I got a question, man. I got to go somewhat in depth. You know, how valid is your mate's past? So in current day, how valid is your mate's past? Say you meet somebody and you're dating. How valid is if you were to find out later? Should they tell you about their past, or what if you find out later that in 9th grade year she was in she was playing with the basketball team 5-on-1? What if seriously she was violated in her younger years? What if in college she did porn to get by? You know what I mean? College is hard. But how important or how valid is the past when you're meeting someone new? Should you say, well, that was then, this is now? Or does some of that have to be relevant in assessing the character of the person that you're going to date, marry, even engage in, casual sex with? How valid is that, ladies, man?
Be honest to you, at first I'm like, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because that was before me. But then I sat down and I thought about what you said. Like, damn, like what if she was the town bicycle? It's gonna get, I mean, listen, that's gonna be hard. You know what I'm saying? And
That's what she said.
man, yes, she did, didn't she? But I thought about Kanye, man, and that Kim K situation. He had an interview. Sorry about that, where he was talking about the whole Ray Day incident and how his friends out of his friends they know not mention that around him. You know what I'm saying? Like that happened. He had a declaration when he spoke and he said, "Hey, that happened. That was before me. Everybody has a past. That's my wife now." And his friends out of his friends they don't mention that. And in his case, he didn't care about the past. That's fine. But a lot of guys are immature. I'm gonna be honest to you. I want to. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of things that I can take.
Oh no!
What happened?
Auntie here.
Oh
No!
you're on your best behavior now.
My auntie. Shout out to Evelyn. That's another time. My bad.
You good. But no, it's real though, man. At the end of the day, the thing that I wouldn't be able to do, I can take a lot of things, but the things that I wouldn't be able to take gonna cause a problem. So that was the talk. What you got?
Well, at first I thought, I was thinking like you. So, and I still kind of do, but it's almost kind of like buying a car. I don't need to know everybody who drove the car as long as it's in good condition.
Right.
But then again, that Carfax is a mandatory because they can put different additives to make things seem like they're not, and then a couple years down the line, your whole exhaust fall off. So, and maybe people don't understand that. So let me get a little deeper. This is how I feel right now. If you have changed and turned over a new leaf, and I never had a way of finding out, I don't want to know. I'm Mario. I don't want to know. But if you some kind of way know that I am going to find out, it behooves you to let me know. Because then I feel like I'm going to respect you more by giving me a chance to say, all right, as a man, can I deal with this or can I not? So if you went and had a rendezvous in the mountains of Kalamazoo, I might not even know that. But if I stayed in Riviera Beach and you got nasty in Boynton, you probably should tell me because I have homeboys in Boynton. And I'm just telling ladies, be discreet and understand on your end, like how close were you playing to where you lay? Because right now, the worst thing is for a man to do is, I'm telling you, as a man, if I know and I accepted that, then I can blame nobody but myself. But if I walk into a party and I see everybody over there with the you talking about mad. That's the man in the hurt, in the embarrassment that I don't think no man wants to feel. And no man wants to feel played and be the butt of the party jokes. So, ladies, if you know that your man is in the situation or in the circumference of where you have played at, please let him know something. Or just if you see the guys or something, if you see the basketball team, which Horace so eloquently spoke of to begin this segment, and you see that team walk in, they don't have to have on their jerseys, but let your star player know that that's the opposing team. What do you have?
Keep it a buck. Please keep it a buck.
Oh man, look, I would love to sit up here and say, man, that was before me. Whatever she did in her past I'm with her now. We got a future and everything. I don't care. I just, as long as you don't do it now. I would love to sit here and say that I'm at that maturity level, but I'm absolutely not. I'm just not. Here's the thing. I need that whole facts. I'm gonna need that out of you. I say it like this. If you choose not to tell me, in the relationship, there's gonna be times when we talk about cheaters. There's gonna be times when we talk about things like like men that's being a player. Now, if I hear that you seem to be objective to that, you talk down on that, I'm gonna take a mental note of that. And then if it's come out later, then I'm gonna hold that all the way against you. I mean, I know women that has in their past had lesbian activities, but then won't give you a three-way. I know women that have three ways in the past, and whatever that dude Whatever he got, he was able to get it, but you can't get it.
Amazing.
I've seen, bro. I've been on this show and seen women who bash me about just talking about casual sex between two adults, and they used to get trains ran on them. So
Amazing.
don't play with me. Don't even play with me with that. That's all I'm saying. If you want to be, if we want to have this conversation, and you're open, and then because if you're open with it, it's going to come out. We talking about it again. I moved away from the crib, so I wanted to try to elude myself of that problem. But you know, it don't always work like that. But at the same time, man, no, I'm not mature enough to say it doesn't matter, because it matters. When I go to that job and they ask, and I have to fill out that application or something like that, and they ask me about my background, or when I'm buying a house, when I'm trying to rent, whatever it is, they check that background and they hold that shit against me. So we have to understand that. We have to understand this. So then, because at the end of the day, if I start having, let's say I start having children with this woman, I'm going to raise my child, especially my daughter, to not be what you was. That's what I'm going to, and you may be loose on that type of raising. I'm going to be stern on that type of raising. So, yeah, I'm not at that level yet. Horace, what you think?
The only pro I can say to this is most dudes that marry hoes are happy for a little while. Kanye is ecstatic, but I think Kanye mixing a couple screws up top, right?
You know why though, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I know.
Hoes hell, ain't it? Okay.
Yeah, well, you got a point. How valid is your mate's past? I think that it is valid when it will affect you. So you got to have a moment to protect yourself at all times. You can't be in love to the point of stupidity, which we have. Listen, I know a girl where I went to school with. I don't know if it was something in her blood. She really did almost a whole class. Like she did numbers, record numbers, like Debbie does Dallas numbers. One day, I seen her in the mall. She married. She moved away, got married. Everybody in the mall laughing. He doesn't know. He thinking he didn't won the prize. He won it all right. So, but I would say it's important if I met somebody and because she ran into a dude, she ran into a guy that had a risky past, and every now so often she has she doesn't have a virus, but occasionally she has to get an STD test. That's something I need to know.
Amazing.
There was a woman that got married and got divorced because after she got married to the guy, a video of her sucking thing at the bachelor party came out months later. Y'all didn't see that video.
Amazing.
So yeah, you know what I mean? So the timing of things are important, but I think for someone said, why is it different? I'm gonna say why it's different. With men and women, I think it's important when it's tied to the soul. You know what I mean? Like certain things, she didn't have a daddy and all that type of stuff. They pass, you want to get to know them. But when it comes to things that's tied to their soul, it's a difference. Men give, but women are receivers. So when it comes to those soul ties, you guys receive, you guys carry. So I think it's important in that aspect because I've met people who've had trauma from early in their years who don't know that it's affecting them in their relationship, and it's affecting their relationship to the point where the guy and her can't really jail together because she has unresolved traumas from the past. You know what I mean? And dude not knowing, he's taking on that guilt trip thinking it's something that he's not doing. But back to the soul ties, I think it has to be impactful and it's substantial when it's tied to something that is affecting their soul and their character and their development. I'm sorry, Date Doctor. Go ahead.
I'm glad. I appreciate you taking it on that philosophical level. I get that. But I'm going to just keep this simple. A key that can open many locks is called a master key. A lock that can be opened by many keys is just a shitty lock.
Sponsor gone.
And let me say this before we go on. See, I'm not speaking from a place of I don't know. As you brothers know, I have tried such things. So I like to call myself an enlightened brother. So I told myself, listen, this is a nice young lady. Never mind her past. I'm grown, so why can't she? I understand she might have been around the mulberry bush a couple of times, but there's no need for me to judge and act like we can't change. And then throughout this process I was going through, I found out, no, Mr. Hardy, you are not ready for such things. And no matter what, the uncomfortableness of feeling that you're in a room full of people that you know, it just eat like to me. And I think I'm a pretty mature guy, but maybe not that mature. It eats at you just knowing that at any point in time, a dude can hit, hey, what's going on? You don't know if that's what's going on. Like, hey, we play on the basketball team, or hey, we played on the basketball team. So I'm telling you, you have
Jump
to
ball.
you have
You
to
got
be a
something
different
over
kind of
you.
guy. And you must
That's
be
what it is.
you must be spiritually in tune, because you're gonna have to have a higher power to help you and talk you down off of those feelings that's gonna arise. Because as a man, like you said, what's different? Men have egos. That's what happens. We're fueled by ego. And right now, most men, our ego is going to come for full circle. So hats off to any man who can take it. But I'm telling you, that's a special guy.
Right.
Hence the movie The Best Man. I won't go down that road again, but
yeah you don't.
I'm on time out. All right. Well, with that being said, that leads me to another question. What's a man's worst nightmare? And this was a question that was inspired by Chris. So maybe I'm TD Jakes tonight. So what's a man's worst nightmare? That can go into so many different directions. But let me go to Zay.
Well, too, you made me rethink it, because I was gonna say, after a long, hard day of work, a famous author by the name of Tila said, after a long, hard day of work, I come home, baby, honey, are you home? And he walks in and he catches somebody in his cookie jar going 44 deep, getting favors he can't even get as a hardworking man. And I thought, that's the worst nightmare I could ever have. And then you just said, this young lady got caught at the bachelorette party. It's like a thing. Wait a minute. I just said I'm gonna give you my name. Do you know how hard that is for us as a man? And I think it was a line. I used to come on a little dirty, the squiggly line channel, or Dancing Bears or something, and them dudes come out there and do their thing for the ladies right before they get married, and they out there having a good old jolly. Man, I flip my shit. I think for me, that would do it. That's my worst nightmare ever. Another woman could ask me to get married. If that happened to me, I'll be done. I promise you. All right. I'm sorry. What you got?
Listen, I wasn't going down that road. I was gonna be philosophical. That ain't my worst nightmare. JT Money has really ruined me because I expect it. You know what I mean? As long as I don't find out about it.
Negative, sir.
Listen, I've seen many stories. The things that I've done in my life, I am egotistical and ignorant to not think that karma must come back upon me. It has really injured me because I've done some things when I didn't know that I was worth more than an occasional hour of pleasure. All right. So
when did you get this enlightenment?
Hey man, listen, the Lord. My nightmare probably, bro, is honestly, man, because I've been deep. We'll share it later. It's probably living a life that shows no signs of my existence. That's why I can't understand when somebody say they don't want to have kids and stuff like that. I'm like, you living, but like, what kind of timestamp you gonna leave? What kind of footprint that you will leave on this earth? You know, you got kids that'll follow through. You know, you ain't great enough to have a statue, but like, how would people even know that you live? I do fear, and I have to get better with it. I fear wasting time, and that has been a big hurdle in a lot of my relationships. Like, you know, at one time I was egotistical. I used to have a 6-month thing. I could date and it can be good, but if it wasn't great or I didn't think it had the capacity to be married, 6 months, boom. Because I hate it. I didn't want to never waste time, and I do value time. So that's why right now I do what I do. According to the comedian Dion Cole, I got 30 summers left. And that's how you think about it. You can say, oh, I'm this age, but no, Negro, you got about 30 summers left. When you start to put that in your mind, you be like, it gets you humble. Like, damn, I got 30 summers left. And it don't sound like it seems like a lot, but it is so close. So that'll probably be my worst nightmare. As far as the jokers, pounding something, it might hurt a little bit, but I ain't gonna feel the pain. So Mario.
Well, my family is like real big for me. So my biggest fear would be my family being in danger and I'm not being there to be there to protect them. Like I think that's my biggest fear. When my daughter went to college, I was like, dang, like I'm far away now. Like I can't, you know what I'm saying? Or my wife, something being there, or my son, or my mom, just something happened to somebody, and I'm not there to say, take me, or let me get it. Leave them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not even have the choice to put myself in the brunt of that onslaught or whatever they finna handle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that in those decisions, I want to be there. So I can say, you know what I'm saying? And I think anytime you think about stuff and I see that, like I was watching a movie and I seen a dude and he was locked up and everything was falling apart outside and all he could do is just because there's nothing he could do. And he know that if he was just out on the outside of these walls, it'd be totally different. And I think that thought maybe a couple of years ago was what kept me on the good path of like, yeah, the fear of going or getting incarcerated, the fear of doing something stupid and losing my life is what keep me saying, yeah, maybe I can take it, but I don't ever want to leave them out here to fend for it themselves and I not be there to be able to say, shit, let me be here to help y'all. So I think that's my one of my biggest fears that I have. Chris.
Great doctor.
Well, my fear is gonna sound very familiar, but I'm gonna try to paint it a different way. Let's just say you got to view your funeral. You at your funeral, and in the front row you see your wife, your pretty little wife, and she crying, but you know that's fake crying because you know your wife. But because she ain't really sad, she about to cash out. She about to get the pension. She about to get the life insurance. She about to get the savings, and she gonna spend it on her young dude. Because and then you start to think back. You start to remember that you met her. And she said she wanted a provider, a real man, provide, pay all the bills, and you fell for that shit. And you paid all the bills, and you provided like you work your finger to the bone. Now, also at that same funeral is your kids, and they fake crying too, because they don't really know you. You never had a connection with them. You never made them feel as though they had a real daddy. But you provided. You paid all the bills. You was a real man. You and think about you get to see the family and the friends that's there, the ones that bothered to come, because it ain't that many in that room. It's your funeral. It ain't that many in that room. And they ain't really got, the pastor asked them to come up to say something. They ain't really got nothing good to say. You didn't leave no impact on their life, because you know what you dedicated your life to? Being a good provider, paying all the bills, real man. So what I'm saying is, fellas, my number one nightmare is to live a life of regret. I don't wish that on nobody. I don't wish that on no man. Do not live a life of regret. If that woman is not treating you the way that you feel like you want to be treated, like you're supposed to be treated, leave her. If that job is not appreciating you, leave that job. If you want to start that business, start that business. If you want to make that album, make that album. I'm just saying, fellas, do not leave this earth without regret. Take care of your kids. Don't have your kids hating you when you grow up because you did all this stuff and you never even connected with them. Fellas, do not leave this world with full of regret. Do not even live in this world full of regret. So if my number one fear is to leave here, and basically what Horace said, people not even know I was here. I didn't leave an impact. I didn't leave my footprint. I didn't leave an impact on people. And that impact is not in your wallet. That's in the heart. That's in the soul of who you are. So yeah, that'll have to be mine.
So you know what, Chris, as you say that, all jokingly aside, in the beginning, you're right. That's one of the things I think is my fear, to live and not live. So as you guys say, I'm flighty, hence I got the map behind me. I'm trying to go and experience all the things that I can before my eyes close. You see what I'm saying? And so you're right. a lot of people live and don't live. Like you said, they live, they work, they try to provide, they do everything, and then it comes to the end of it, God calling you home, and you realize that you ain't did nothing. And that's something that I had to talk about and think about a whole lot in my stint doing life insurance, because the average person who works a 9 to 5 job works and retires at what age? 60, 65, right? And by the time you retire, right, you're only retiring because of your body's broken down or health related issues, right? And you're trying to live out the rest of your days, but you can't really do anything because you're constricted. So now you work and you amass whatever fortune that you're gonna leave. Never even really get to reap the benefits or the fruits of your labor. That is a real nightmare for me. If I was to ever do that, I would probably flip over in my grave, because I didn't really get to experience this thing that God gave us for however many days, years that He does give us. So you are absolutely correct with that.
I want to say something too. That what y'all saying is very true, but I also want to implement the need to focus on sacrifice and understanding about how you delay gratification. Because see, what happens is when you start thinking that way too much, then you start, as Tootie always reference, the grasshopper and the ant. And see, what happened is then you start living your life too much, and then you start doing everything you want to do, and then you start going everywhere you want to go, and then you start doing. Then you had a hell of a life, and then what? Then at some point it's about the next generation too. So I'm agreeing exactly what y'all saying, but it is a heavy medium. It is a medium, because I would hate to say, damn, my daddy been to 50 places, this and this and this and this, and then my children have nothing to keep their life going, and give them that catapult to say, okay, well, now your life is going to be a little bit easier, because at the end of the day, I'm your parent, and I was supposed to provide that for you at least. And whether it come through wisdom, whether it come through financial, everything, I want to leave something to y'all so to make y'all life better. So that next time y'all children, y'all can do the same thing, and our generation will keep getting better and better and better. And I just want to say that part too. But I agree. I just think that sometimes people take that out of context and they go to living YOLO. Like, nah, bro, you can live, like Tudor said, you can live for 30 more summers. Like, you're not gonna die. So you can live for a longer time than you think that you can possibly live.
Everything in moderation, I would say. Just like the Bible tell you, too much of anything is gluttony, which is a sin. So, like you said, don't overindulge. Definitely have some type of plan. But I don't think that it's wrong that an individual that works and get those 2 weeks off. And this oftentimes for us too, culturally. Black people get those same 2 weeks off that white people get, and we get a staycation because we owe bills and we can't go where we want to go. And you'll see a person of a different ethnicity or descent that'll actually take a vacation with their family and get a chance to teach them or show them something differently. And it's like you said, because they were being good stewards of their money and making sure that they were planning these things. Because if you plan it, then it can happen. But if you're just going, off the cuff, then yeah, you're not watching the scoreboard, and you will mess around and have a ball, and your family or your legacy will have nothing but probably resent for you. So yeah, definitely be mindful of what you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring a conversation with you guys to Clubhouse when we go to the after party, because I got frustrated, so I'll vent with y'all later about somebody who wronged me, but I'm still trying to be I'm so focused on growth that I'm trying to like give an alley or olive branch, right? Because I do see that they don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't comprehend where you're at, but I'm still saying like, hey, at least be peaceful, yada yada. And so that was something I went through today. Like, you don't realize time, the impact of time. Like, use the stuff we focus on. It's like it doesn't serve a purpose. You can't take none of it. It don't build your character. It doesn't help you grow mentally, spiritually, financially. We waste a lot of time on stuff that's silly and frivolous. Right. So let me go ahead and put the horn out there before I can bring in the angry mob. And this segment might, instead of meat and potatoes, it's going to be like, what the hell Horace said this week. I want to ask y'all a question.
It will continue.
Why?
Don't worry, they're going to tar and feather you. Just go ahead.
I ain't worried about them chickens. Why do women highly prioritize and value things that men find irrelevant. Let me start over for editing purposes. Why do women highly prioritize and value things that men find irrelevant? I look at social media. I always say it's a narcissistic era. Eyelashes, especially the ones that look like garage door openers. Hair, $600 hairstyles that stay in for a week. The designer clothes. I really get annoyed when people or us, forget other ethnicities, we act like buying designer clothes is a life goal or accomplishment. Um, and this all come from a Clubhouse chat, kind of, where we had one of our friends, Weeba and Tink. We were all in this. I think the room was created by Chris, or maybe it was Weeba, but we were talking about dating and relationships. And someone made the comment that um, women don't run on fumes. Men gas women up. And that created a whole nother conversation. And my point to that was, like we said the week before, you've never heard a man say he looking for a woman to make him six figures, right? And at the end of the day, when you do hear us talk, we talk about tangible things like peace and, things that you can actually take to the soul. So the argument was we were trying to figure out why so many women prioritize things that we find irrelevant. That's it. I can't even say it more than more. So the clothes, the hair, the stuff, all the stuff that you see people go over and aboard on IG to highlight, men don't really value that. It doesn't really factor in to whether I'm a smash, whether I'm gonna do this or that. So, without me running on, I'm gonna go to the date doctor first. Did I say that? Did you understand how I poised it?
Yes, I got it. I
All
definitely
right.
got it. But here's the thing. For me to argue something, I have to have evidence. I have to have true evidence beyond, a small proportion. I don't have the evidence to argue that we don't like that shit. Or what was the word? I forgot what you said. We don't
Irrelevant.
it's irrelevant to us. I say it like that. Yeah. I don't have the evidence because I'm on social media and I see those likes and I see those comments and I see those heart faces and I see those hey beautiful. I see those things. I 110% see it. So it's hard for me to say that we think that it's irrelevant. Now I know I don't see women who don't have those things and they get the same attention. And I think that we need to be more focused on that. If you like natural hair, then you need to compliment the women that have natural hair. Because that's how I do it. I say, hey, I like natural hair. I may even like the weave in your hair, but you won't see me compliment it. If you wear your natural hair, I don't care how it looks. I don't give a damn how it looks on your head. I'm gonna still say, oh, I like your hair, because I want to be what I'm speaking of. You know what I'm saying? I don't. If you look on these women pages, you don't see too many. You don't see likes from me. You don't see comments. You don't see compliments and things like that from me because I don't want to compliment those things. So I think that if we really feel is irrelevant, we need to show and prove and show them that shit is irrelevant to us. You need to pick the women. We need to date the women that's doesn't look like that. Because I too don't know what long ass nails what that has to do with the attraction of me. I don't know what the eyelashes do. Now I don't mind a little switch up every now and then, but no, I don't. I would rather natural. Now also with that, what I think that it seemed to be what I get kind of upset about with women is a lot of times we get dogged for liking other races. You know what I'm saying? We get told that we don't love ourselves for going to other races. Primarily white, but other races we get dogged for it. My thing is this: if you go your whole life dressed up, imitating another race's hat, another race's lash, everything. If you go your whole time imitate another race, why can you get mad for us that we like that other race also? I see blonde black women. If you go on Instagram or Facebook, you're gonna see a lot of blonde black women. Now, if far be it for me, I'm not a woman. I don't know how it feels to want to switch things up, but I actually see that, and I actually see us commenting and liking that blonde black women. So at the end of the day, hey, look, again, I need evidence that we really and truly feel that that is irrelevant. I need evidence of that because sometimes I don't see that. Of course.
Maybe I poise it in a different direction. How high does it rank? Because for me, as a man, I don't value that because I've met too many people who have invested their day to day, everything they have, into looking a certain way to the point. But when I think someone made a post this week. It's like a lot of people, and this went men and women, are, was it emotionally bankrupt or character bankrupt? Like we're presenting something like a brand new car, and you get in and ain't got no seats in it, ain't got no brain in the computer. So that's the point. Like you're doing a lot of stuff to present yourself in a fashion that's pleasing for the eyes, but when at the end of the day, I'm still going to have a situation where like a guy might smash, but when I transition into a conversation,
Definitely
what do
smashing.
you have to offer? Because your whole identity is tied into, oh, I just had to go get my eyes. Like you can't miss an appointment because you're keeping up an image. But what about, hey, I mean, get basic. Like, what's your favorite book? What do you like to eat? Do you like to cook? What are your thoughts on child? Like, at the end of the day, a dude will explore that. So that's probably what I always, when I do meet people, like I don't care about none of that. Because what if, like COVID, they said we can't leave the house at all. You can't leave the house at all. So how many people gonna come out the door after a month when things then fell apart a little bit? At the core of it, I always ask a woman to be naked with me, like as far as your personality. Like, I just want to get to know you. You fine, cool, but what about you? Like, give me some conversation. Let me know, your thoughts, your 5-year plan, your books, your thoughts on God. But you look fine, and I may smash. But after that, where we going? Where we going? So that's just my intake. That will probably get more hate mail, but I don't give a damn tonight.
I
Zay,
see. I think I see where you were going with that. I think the way you posed the question is probably what was a little misleading. I know what you're talking about. You have some women who make themselves up, but then they're not worth a hill of beans or to what they dress themselves up to be, whether it be the designer clothes, the makeup, and things like that. But they don't have any substance. So in that idea, I can understand and I can agree with you. But when I looked at it, a lot of times, man, whether you believe it or not, women do a lot of that stuff for them. The very thing. You know what I'm saying? They like one woman said she liked her lashes, which they do. They could care less, give a hoot do if me or you like them lashes. They like them, and that's what's most important. Women like to feel pretty. They are pretty. They're flowers. So they do these type of things to bring their exuberance out. You see what I'm saying? And we're men. We'll never get it. Just like they'll never get why we love don'ts. And like to be grease monkeys to get under our cars and work on things that just absolutely make no sense to them. In that sense, I understand. But yeah, I just think that's because it's who they are at the core of them. It's what they like to do. They've been playing makeup since they were kids. You gotta expect that if they were doing it, then they're gonna do it as adults too as well. But that's what I got. What you got, Hart?
All right. So before I go, I got a question for all three of y'all. So, because Chris brought up a good point to say that those women get the most likes and the most attention, which I do agree with. But the question is, do you think a woman that you would consider ugly with lashes would get a whole bunch of likes too?
No.
Because I'm asking that question because as men, we know it's not the lashes that's getting the likes.
Yeah.
It's the shirt that's here. It's the butt that's here. So you put them lashes on, but the man, nobody zoomed in and said, "Man, I gotta like this picture." The way those lashes and those nails just hit when the light glisten off of it is amazing. Damn that her butt is 40. Damn that her titties are a double D. Those eyelashes and those nails, the way they coordinate with her skirt, it just did something to me. Like. Do y'all think that?
Look, if you liking for the ass and titties, then I applaud you, my brother. I'm all for that. I'm saying I see pictures that doesn't have asses, titties, and they're liking and they're commenting and they're beautiful.
But that's just,
like
but then we gotta say this as a man, and we gotta be real, because we 4 men, and it's just a guy who trying to throw his fishing pole out there, he fishing to see what he can hit. But I'm saying, I just never, out of all the men I've encountered in my life, and I've played sports, I've traveled, I've been a lot of places. It's a lot of places, and I've been a lot of groups of men, some rich, some poor, some thugs, some sophisticated. And I've never sat around when we had men talking, said, hey, bro, I see you got another chick. Boy, you seen her lashes? Ooh, boy, I got a bad one with some nice lashes and her nails. Boy, every time she leave the house, her nails is, dog. I'm switched her nails up 3 times. Like I never seen it. So I'm just saying we got to be real and say the reason why women do it, it's the same reason why men do it. When men buy uncomfortable Jordans, it's a pissing contest. It's to say I shitted on that nigga. I'm stunning on him and I'm the best. The reason why a nigga buy big ass chains that hurt your neck is to say, yeah, nigga, I got the most. A woman goes out there with the mink lashes to say so, because another woman, because we not even gonna know what kind of lashes they is, but another woman from across the room gonna look at her lashes and say, I know those ain't no $300 lashes. Ooh, you see, blah blah. Bro, we both do that, and it's because of that. I don't think they have, because right now I'm at my most comfortable state when I'm in sweatpants and a wrinkled tee. Right now, I never come out the house like that. You know why? Because at the end of the day, my wife probably wouldn't care. But at the end of the day, most of the stuff I had to buy when I was little, this shit was not comfortable. The average clothes you buy in the store, that's for a man and for a woman, that shit not comfortable. You know how many times I've seen women go to the club and look stunning, and halfway out the club, they shoes in their hands. Because that shit hurt. So you can't tell me that you knowingly want to say, damn, I look good, but I'm finna tear my damn feet up. It's because when you were standing in them Louis and the light hit them and all the other girls looked down them, you said, yeah, I killed them tonight, and you gave that down. It's the pissing contest. I'm telling you, because right now, women admire women's stuff, just like men. Just like right now, I could walk into a room and see somebody with some Jordan 1s that discontinued and be like, ooh, but some, because we doing it to shit. I hate to say it might not be to down them, but it's a status thing on both sides. And you feel pretty because women are going to give you compliments. Men feel like they killing it because right now, I can go to the Gap, put on something, and then a woman could say, damn, you look nice. And the nigga be like, man, what the hell's on your feet, dog? You see what I'm saying? Like, I've noticed this. Ever since I've learned this in my life, right now I spent, people who know me know, I had 1 million shoes, 1 million clothes, 1 million, I was dressed. That's what I do. But right now, I can go to any store and buy a $12 shirt and get the same reply from a woman. Then I had to understand, they didn't give a damn that I had on them Jordans. They didn't give a damn that I did this. But the other fellas who walked in the room, they did. And I had to tell myself this, damn them. I'm not buying them this no more. I'm buying these motherfuckers right here and save my money because it's for me. And that's what I think. When people say it's for them, I think it's for them to show out when they go somewhere. That's just what I think.
You just learned something, Mario, that man make the fashion. That's it. And the fashion make a lot of men and women, and that's what we've come to learn. Once you become a good steward of your money and you start to understand those economics, you can save that money that you were spending on a high fashion. Like you said, get something that's of a lesser quality and put it together, pair it right. And you can take that money that you use to quote unquote shit on niggas and really shit on niggas.
Hey,
And first of all, I'll say this. Look, great sweatpants is for single men. That's why you can't come out the house. Because great sweatpants is for single men. So
you're probably right.
Keep them in the dresser, my brother.
No, it's gonna prove my point before we have Bernie Mac up there with the N-words. This side of the screen has been really off glass tonight, Chris. We behave, and there's been M-bombs flying everywhere tonight, like Tom Brady. But you made my point. Listen, on one of those Clubhouse rooms, I was talking to somebody, and they debated me because men can never be right. I said, and they were complaining about the dating pool and guys, dudes, all they wear t-shirts and basketball shorts and da-da-da. I said, well, them the guys that you're dating. I said, because you guys dictate the dating scene. She said, what do you mean? I said, when I was coming up, I remember Boys to Men was the hot thing. And then you remember y'all used to have dudes trying to dress like Boys to Men with the, the shorts and the polo style because all the women were into guys that were dressing like that. I said, so right now, if there was a guy, I don't know, dressed like John Legend, if women were into guys that wore suit ties and that type of stuff again, you would see Negroes running out to buy suits and ties and stuff like that. But if you complain about the same dude, but you're not requiring him to step the game up, then it's kind of on you because tell me if I'm wrong. When a dude get to drop his car, you might be a car fanatic, but he coming through the stunt because he about to pull a whole gang of. When dude come out fresh to death, he gonna pull a couple of. So I'm saying don't underestimate your impact on the culture. So you could complain about the dude that's dressed like he a bum off Z Street, but in reality, if you require more, like you ain't giving no play, but she see Mario that come through with those Cole Haans with a polo and some tailored pants, and these guys starting to pill all the babies, I bet he switches game up. So
Get right or get left.
Yeah, I can't tell you on that. I think the only thing I would kind of correct you on is making sure you emphasize smashing, because just getting attention is one thing. Smashing the women is totally different. Whoever is getting the box is what is going to control the culture. That's just how it is. If whoever's screwing, like I said this 100 times, if the valedictorian was getting all the box in high school, you'll have some smart men. The smartest black men would be the smartest people in the world. But I digress.
All right, you know what? F it. Y'all got time to run through this bonus question? I just want to get y'all insight real quick. Do friends have a responsibility to hold friends accountable? What do I mean by that? And I'll give you a good example. You have a relationship, man and woman, right? And the female friends can know that woman friend is lying or she's not being 100. Most of the time, dudes will come off and tell his homeboy, like, yeah, I messed up. I did this, yada, yada, yada. And we're going to crack some jokes. We might even, say, hey, bro, you messed up, whatever, right? But on the other side of the coin, just an observation, is there a thing, and I'm going to sum it up, really get some hate mail. Do friends, and I want to say women in generalize, but practice that same accountability to have a girlfriend that you need to tell her some things to and hold her accountable, but you don't. I've seen scenarios, just an observation, even on the reality shows where they'll have a chick that's doing stuff to a man, doing stuff to another woman, and nobody ever pulls her chain or pulls her to the side and kind of say like, hey, that's foul. Hey, you shouldn't be doing your baby daddy like that. Or, hey, are you shouldn't be stepping out, yada, yada. In fact, I'm gonna give an analogy that'll get me the hate mail. We always complain about police and the police shootings, right? And they say one thing about it, the police gonna always have each other back. It's a code, the blue code of silence, right? Mm. I want to say when it comes to females, they have that same kind of alliance, that code of that blue wall, or I don't call it pink wall or whatever. When it comes to that, where it's hard to catch the woman cheating because most of the time other people involved. So I really wanted to. John say, "Stay out their business, bro." Order friendship. Yeah, you already off the market. But listen, quick question, man. Do y'all get what I'm saying? And do you think friends have responsibility? I know we practice it inside our group.
Damn right.
Mario.
I think accountability shows love. I think, you know what I'm saying? That's just me. And then holding people accountable shows love. So, because there's some stuff that because if you're my brother, like you say you are, and if I can't correct you or give you constructive criticism, then maybe we're not close as we say we are. And I'm understanding that, you know what? Sometimes you're gonna get mad at me. Sometimes you're not gonna like what I say. But I love you enough to say that, hey, we might not speak for a week or two, but I know that we'll be back but I have to say this to you because I love you. And that's how I live my life. Other people don't have to. And you're right. Some people just let it go and let them. But I feel like I don't talk about other people's lives and don't interject my opinion into a lot of people's lives. Because you're right. I'd be like, hey, that's on y'all. But to my direct circle, I make sure that, hey, bro, I'm gonna hold. If I see, like, it could be the smallest thing. Like right now, I think that I have a little bit of knowledge on putting clothes together. So right now, and anybody can say this. This is a minute thing. It's not gonna kill nobody. But if Chris come out the house and they'll be like, damn, bro, your shirt, I'm not gonna let him go to the party without me saying, bro, that's not the right shirt, bro. Go put this one on. That's just my opinion. Now, Chris do what he want to do, but I'm not gonna be the one to say, you know what? Damn, that Chris shirt bigger than a motherfucker. But then we get to the party and they be like, hey, why your boy got that big mom? I be like, he knew he shouldn't have put that bitch on. I'm not that guy. I'm gonna say, Chris, boy, that bitch big. We might give him a couple jokes. He might be like, for real? I thought it was.
Yeah, you give me
And vice versa though, because I rather us do it, joke on each other, or I get mad and be like, yeah, and I have to ride home and think about it and be like, that nigga really was right. I'd be like, bro, I apologize. You know, I kind of stormed off, but you was right. Then the masses do it. So I feel like I don't think a lot of people do it because I see a lot of people out here who are hot mess in a lot of ways, not just fashion. And your attitudes, the way you approach life, the way you just don't hold accountability. I've seen people who balling in either two things for sure. And I've learned this, like you can see separation not to go on. So right now, our lives kind of mirror each other in some sort. We all do different things, but you can see us doing this. Because at some point, if I keep saying this to you, then it's gonna get redundant to me and it's gonna get aggravating to me. And you're gonna best of us together. Because I'm going here and you going there. So if I keep saying, hey, bro, you can't keep doing this. Hey, bro, you can't keep doing this. And you be like, oh, I'm gonna do that. And this is the way I'm living. And this, I'm gonna say, cool, that's not the way I'm living. I still love you, but I'm gonna be over here. So I think those two things coincide. That's just mine. Maybe I answered the question. Maybe that's what I thought about it.
That's real.
Zay, we got 9 minutes for the after party. Zay.
I think accountability is needed. I think it's something that's not it's not taken well. And I think I said that before on a previous episode, because we live in this society right now where it's just rainbows and gumdrops. Everything is all positive affirmations. So once you hit somebody with a hard truth that they don't like, but it's the truth, you're being as honest as you can be. You're being the best friend. You're being as brutally honest as you can be because you don't want to see them display themselves in a manner that's not going to be conducive to growth. And if they can't take it, are you right, Mario? I got to start asking myself, are we really as close as we say we are? Because if I'm doing something stupid, please tell me I'm doing something stupid. Because I'd rather y'all joke on me about it in here than the world joke on me. And that's one of the things that we keep sacred. But let us joke on you, but don't let nobody else. You understand what I'm saying? And I see oftentimes, like you said, there are a lot of hot messes. There are men and women that are saying and doing stupid things they shouldn't be doing and saying because it's not going to be conducive to the growth of whatever it is, their business relationship, their partnership, relationship, or even friendship. But no one's real enough to have the conversation, the hard conversation that needs to be had, so that y'all can figure out if y'all right to be in each other's life or not. Because like you said, I'm one where I'm getting to that point where if I keep constantly pouring into you, but I see that I want it for you more than you want it for yourself, I'm gonna still love you with the love of the Lord, but I'm gonna fall back. Doesn't mean that we gotta be for anything. It's just that I understand that we're going two different directions in life. So I think that accountability is very, very necessary. But that's just me. What about you?
Here's the thing. I don't know. I say it like this. I mostly deal with black women. Most of the time, I'm talking to black women. Occasionally, I have some white women that I talk to, and I just mean just talking. I don't mean just intimate dating or whatever. Let's talk to a minimal amount of Spanish women, a minimal amount of white women. And what I've seen that's connected between all of them, there's no one that can tell them the truth. There's no way you can do it. There's no uniform method because there's trap words like tone. They're gonna tell you your tone. It ain't what they have phrases like it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. They have phrases like I don't know, just a bunch of things, everything to deflect the message, everything to make the monster out of the messenger, so you don't have to listen to the message. That's what I hear a lot. So I don't know if anybody can do it. We constantly complain that they don't want to listen to us, but who do they actually listen to? Like what person do you know that uniformly can speak to women in a corrective manner? I don't know any. I don't know. I don't think it's husbands. I don't think that it's Oprah. I don't think that is. I think maybe Beyonce has the best her chance, but she don't. I just don't know who can effectively do that. So yeah, I think it's going to have to be something that maybe some trials and tribulations, maybe something that bring you to the point of accountability. But I just don't know no messenger that can deliver that message and it hits home in the perfect way, in the perfect tone, without being harsh, without being being honest, but not brutally honest. But I don't know. So
Chris, my bad. For you, right quick, Chris. The change doesn't happen until you get comfortable. So if they're saying it in a nice way, you're never gonna change because it's too nice. You gotta make them uncomfortable, I believe, because that's the only time that the change happens. That's the only time when they'll actually see the wrong in what they're doing. Because if you just
about your tones, they would say it's your tone.
We only got 4 minutes. We only got 4 minutes. Go ahead, Horace.
No, I was going to say I framed the question from a situation with a couple I knew. The guy separated and he kept quiet, but the ex kind of like tore into him just with malicious, rumors. Oh, he was this, he was that. Dude never said a word. He was this, he was that. And even the friends kind of like, stuff ain't adding up. But nobody ever checked her. Nobody pulled to the side like, listen, he moved on, leave him alone. You need to get over it. Or, hey, stop, you kind of saying some stuff that, nobody checked her. So that's why I asked that question. It came from something I observed with somebody. And I was like, in our situation like that with us, we would have been quickly like, hey, bro, you tripping? Hey, dog, what's going on? We do that for each other. I know we do, but, to each his own. Closing comments. I'm going to the Date Doctor first because you got to go to Clubhouse and check out security.
Duke Webb. I want to talk about Duke Webb. I know you probably haven't heard this man's name, but here's his face. This is a terrorist. They don't show this, they don't blast this everywhere, but this is a terrorist. This man murdered people. This man murdered people in a bowling alley. Duke Webb. So if no one else shows you his face, I'm gonna show you his face. Because I remember when my sister got shot in the face with a police, with a whatever rubber bullet with a police, you would think on Facebook and on Instagram that she the one did the shooting. They villainize my sister for that, but you don't see this guy. Do you see this guy everywhere? No, you don't. This is Duke Webb. Google him. That's all I got.
Mario.
Well, I stay in Georgia, so I just want to take my time to say I voted. As you see this, and right now we in the thick of things right now. So right now we have to January the 7th, I think, or the 5th, one of those 2 days. But I early vote, so I never really know the exact date. But just if you're in Georgia, if you know somebody in Georgia, if you know somebody that knows somebody in Georgia, I'm not telling who to vote for. I'm just telling you to go vote. Go vote, and go vote. Because we hate to see all this we did come to an end. And then before I go, Horace said one thing that's really true. And I think to really see if Biden gonna be what he talking about, I want to make sure that he has no excuse. So right now, if the Democrats get the House and the Senate, then Biden will have no excuse but to do everything he promised, because he will be held accountable with passing every bill, because he will have no holdback in the House or the Senate. So that's why I want to see it, because I want to see if you're going to be about what you're talking about, Biden. I don't want no excuses. Go ahead.
Well, I say before we go to Zay, he already made a comment yesterday that said it seems unlikely that he will be able to erase student loan debt. So he already started. Zabo.
I'm gonna be quick because I know we gotta get. I'm just gonna say thank you guys for coming out. I am gonna urge you guys to share, tell a friend to tell a friend, comment, and come and see us again. We'll be here Monday at 9. Monday Night Raw with the Black Super Friends.
Well, you're selling it wrong, but Clubhouse, the date doctor has it set up. I feel like NBA on TNT. We going from here to Clubhouse for a conversation. So if you don't have an invite, hey, people knocking, but they can't get in. But keep trying. I got one invite, and it depends on who will be the lucky invitee to the party. So thank you for joining in for another conversation. Please, and this week we are going to I'm going to push to do another show because we had an interesting conversation that I want the date doctor and Mario, all of us to get back in. And the topic was, do you want a boss, builder, or bum? I think we just got to have that conversation this week, guys. So let's see if we can have that conversation before the week is out. So we will see you soon, people.